So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes Graphics Upgrade 3.0, an early look, the next God of War potentially leaking here, and a PS3 server shutdown. First, yes or no, do you care if Call of Duty becomes an Xbox first-party title or not? We haven't really talked about this whole Activision situation recently on the channel as much because there's like a new update all the time and it's becoming exhausting debating this on Twitter. But with the deal looking like it might actually go through, I'm curious where you guys lie. So comment below yes or no if you care if COD becomes an Xbox first party title or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, PS3 server shutdown. So, the PlayStation 3 originally came out all the way back in late 2006. It's crazy that it's been that long. 17 years ago this thing came out, and there are still servers for some games that people still play online to this day. It's always interesting to see something like this. Today, with just a day to save, apparently Team Fortress 2 from the Orange Box collection on the PlayStation 3 is about to have its servers shut down tomorrow, March 28th. I had no clue this version of the game was still running. I remember playing the Orange Box back in the day. I'm not the biggest fan of Half-Life, but I had some fun with Team Fortress 2. Over on Reset Era, they're doing a get-together situation that's been happening for a few days now, it seems. Here's what user Mullet2000 had to say on Reset Era. People are attempting to load up the servers and play the next few days as an FYI if you want to as well. Kind of an oddly specific piece of nostalgia for some people, but this was the first version I played and I played a lot of it, so I get it. It's fun to go back to what is basically vanilla Team Fortress 2 for a few rounds too. I'm happy I managed to get this news out today, the day before the servers shut down, for anyone who wants to get in some final matches before the servers close out forever. I don't have the Orange Box anymore, at least I don't think so. I'll have to look through my PlayStation 3 collection because I have a lot of games on physical on PlayStation 3. Physical was the way we played a lot of games back then. I already sound like I'm saying, back in my day, this is how we did it, but that's the most people, didn't download games back then. We bought them physically, but yep. Team Fortress 2, if you have the Orange Box on PlayStation 3, maybe crack it open one last time. Now, diving into the second story of the video, God of War 3 PlayStation 5 potential leak. This part of the video will be going into some spoilers for God of War Ragnarok or God of War 2 in this situation, so just a heads up there. So, God of War 2018 or God of War 1 in this situation started a new series in the Norse mythology, moving Kratos away from the Greek pantheon since he pretty much blew up that whole situation there. God of War Ragnarok closed that arc for the most part when it launched last year for the story that started back in 2018. There were still multiple parts of the game that seemingly felt open. Atreus, for example, is a big one. I have a good feeling that he could be getting his own type of side story game similar to what we got for Miles Morales. The ending of Ragnarok pretty much opened up new doors for Atreus to have his own journey. As someone who plays God of War for Kratos and his journey, I'm sure the next step after that will have Kratos and Atreus unite some way, or honestly, Kratos could show up in this Atreus game as well. Regardless, outside of Atreus, later on in the game we find out that Odin was disguised as Tyr, the whole time leading us to believe that Tyr was gone. But if you do the broken prison mission in Niflheim, and it's crazy that it's a side mission considering you find the real Tyr here, and after you save him, he appears across the different realms. So now that we've established that Tyr is not gone, he's still very much alive, going into today's story, reading from VGC, one of the key actors in God of War Ragnarok has reportedly implied his character may be returning in some form. According to Shark Games, Ben Prendergast was one of the guests at a God of War retrospective panel at PAX East this past weekend. It's claimed that during the discussion, Ben was talking about his role as the Norse god Tyr when he teased that the character could return. Ben is quoted saying, "And I'll say this, it isn't the last you've seen of Tyr." Now, of course, as VGC also notes here, that this could be in relation to the God of War TV show from Amazon, but since the show is covering God of War 2018, I'm not sure it'll have Tyr there since he wasn't in the game, but of course he was mentioned. They could pull something similar to The Last of Us, considering during The Last of Us we saw flashbacks like Ellie's mom and that whole situation and how that went down. Considering he was comfortable saying this, I assume it's probably the show he's teasing here, but Tyr popping up in an Atreus game would be a highlight, considering Atreus doesn't know that he's alive and thought his trust in a fake Tyr hurt the people around him. So that could be a great story plot in an Atreus Miles Morales like game. But you guys let me know if you think he's teasing the show or something else. Let me know down in the comments below.
This was not a distraction.
No? Then why are we really out here?
Now diving into the final story of the video, Graphics Upgrade 3.0 early look. So we've been following AMD's FSR or Fidelity FX Super Resolution tool going all the way back to the 1.0 version in 2021. For a quick refresher, it's an upscaling tool that's meant to keep quality up for an image while freeing up resources to allow an increase in FPS. So for example, upscaling 1440p to 4K that looks like real 4K, but now you have resources freed up to move the FPS counter to from 30 FPS to 60 FPS, for example. It's been used across a bunch of games at this point, while on console it's slowly catching on with more games getting FSR 2.0 support in recent memory. One of the things I've said in the past is either more developers support tools like FSR on console to provide players with 4K visuals at 60 FPS, or something like a PlayStation 5 Pro should come into the market at one point and I'll be there day one. Fortunately, AMD is continually improving FSR, and FSR 3.0 is set to come out later this year, with multiple developers probably ready to support it with the releases this year as well, similar to FSR 2.0 and 1.0 in their respective years. I'll leave a link below to dive into this more so, but to keep it simple, one of the biggest highlights that I've been seeing from AMD being pushed with FSR 3.0 is doubling the FPS of games. This seems to be a big focus here for them. We got the announcement of FSR 3.0 last year, and now there's more information, a bit of an early look into what they're doing, with a video I've heard set to come out soon showing all of this off, which we'll cover on the channel as well. They plan to achieve more FPS, a higher FPS counter, by using frame interpolation, which essentially involves creating frames within frames to provide for a smoother image, a higher FPS count. There are issues, of course, with doing something like this, and AMD has acknowledged that, and they're working on it. Another big push that AMD is highlighting is how easy it'll be to transition from FSR 2 to FSR 3 for developers, which is great to hear, because that just means more games will get this upgrade faster, which benefits us and saves developers time at the same time. I'm excited to see the test results for this, as I was last year and as I was in 2021 when we first got to see this tool in action. I'll be watching this to see its developments, and we'll update you guys when we get the actual video look. But you guys let me know if you're excited to see games support FSR 3.0 or on PlayStation 5 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "Give me the higher FPS." Obviously, this is in relation to FSR 3.0, which I hope more developers support at a faster rate on console, especially, of course, on PlayStation 5. So we get these games with higher visual quality and higher frames, and we don't have to decide on which performance mode we choose. Hopefully that's the case as time passes on. If you're excited for this, destroy the comment section with "Give me the higher FPS," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.